Hi, it's Jordan Teen 1, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make this cute shamrock or clover charm. So the one here on the left is just a little bit bigger than the one on the right. This one used about 20 more bands than the other one. And to make this, all you're going to be using is your rubber bands, your hook, and then you're also going to need 3 pipe cleaners of whatever color you're using. You want it to match as close as possible. So today I'm going to be using the dark green pipe cleaners. And so I have my dark green rubber bands. These are rainbow loom bands. And I'll be making the smaller one today. So for that you're going to need about 95 bands, give or take a few. And so what you're going to do is take your 3 pipe cleaners and you just want to twist them together. So just pinch them together at the top and then just twist. And you'll probably need to go about most of the way down the length of the pipe cleaners, maybe about 3/4 of the way down. And if you happen to have made my heart charm, my bendable heart charm, this is the same concept that we're going to be using by just wrapping the bands around the pipe cleaners. And so we're just doing this to get a solid base to work with here. And sometimes the fuzz wants to come off the ends. So now I'm going to start at the top here, and I'm always going to be using 2 bands at once as I'm wrapping them around. So I'm taking 2 of the green bands and I'm just going to hold them on the underside of the pipe cleaner, and then I'm going to take my hook and I just want to pick the 2 bands up from the right and then slide it across the top here and grab the 2 bands from the left. So you can see it's wrapped around the back here. And then what I'm going to do is take these bands before I do any looping, and I want them to be as close together as possible so you don't see that pipe cleaner. And then I'm just going to slide these 2 bands on the end of my hook through the other 2. Just leave a little bit of room at the end because you don't want it to accidentally slip off. And so now I'm just going to continue taking 2 bands at a time and wrapping them around. So I'm just going to take my hook and reach underneath here, holding these 2 bands, and now I can hook it through from the right side and then the left. And then before I do the looping, I just want to make sure that these bands are as close together as they can be, and I want to just try and get that pipe cleaner all the way hidden. And now the 2 bands on the end of my hook are going to slide through the previous 2 bands and then the last 2 bands. So it's actually going through all 4. And then I'll pick up my next 2 and I'm going to put them underneath the pipe cleaner, and my hook will grab them from the right side and then the left. And then again, before you loop, you just want to get these to be as close together as you can, get them nice and straight, and then it's going to slide through the previous 2 and then the last 2. So really that's the whole pattern that we're going to follow for the entire thing. So let me just show you this again. I'm taking the 2 rubber bands and sticking them underneath. Gonna get them from either side here. Whoops, got my hook out there. And then line them up, get them nice and straight. And then they go through the 4 that are on your hook. So I will just continue on in this same pattern until I've done the length of 45 sets of rubber bands, and then I will show you how to form your shamrock. I've now completed my 45 sets of bands, and so I still have my hook inside the last one. I'm going to leave it in there. And now what I need to do is start to form this shamrock. So from the very end here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to be counting by these vertical bands. I find it a little bit easier to do here. So I have my hook through the band in front here of the end one. So I'm going to be skipping to every other one and putting my hook through the band that's on the right side of it. So on the end here, I'm not counting that one. I'm skipping the next one, and then I'll go to the one above there. And if you'll see in front here, or the right side of it, you'll see the band, and you'll see it has a left side and a right side. So what we're going to do is just go through the left side. That's going to be the front side of the shamrock. So I'm going to get my hook to go through there. And then what I'm going to do is just grab those two bands and pull them through the two ones that are on my hook. I'm just going to keep repeating that. So now we went through this one, I'm skipping the next one, I'm going to the one above that. So again, I'm just grabbing the two front side bands here, and I'm going to again pull them through the ones on my hook. And in the meantime, you can start to bend this to help it form that circle shape. And so now I'm skipping the next one and going to the one above here. And I'll go through these two bands, pull them through, and then I'll do it again. You can see it's forming this circle. So I'm going through these next two and pulling them down through. And then I'm going to do it one more time. So I'm skipping this next one and going to the one above that. To make sure you're going through two rubber bands. Pull that through. And so now we're back to the start here, and you can see it's not completely closed, and you might want to squeeze this a little bit more because you do want it to be pretty tight, but we still have to finish closing that off. So I'm just going to flip to the other side here, and what I'm going to do is take my hook and I'm going to grab the two bands where I first started, these outer bands. Might be a little bit tough to get your hook through. I'm just going to pull it through those two. And then I'm going to pull those two through the other two that are on my hook. That'll just help close off that circle. So then I'm going to take an additional green band and I just want to slide it through the two that are on my hook, get it right about in the middle. And I'm just going to leave it like that for now. We'll tie them off at the end. And now what I'm going to do is where this circle ended, and I'm just going to move these pipe cleaners out of the way. I'll bend them to the left. I will cut them, but I'm not going to do that till the end. So now where this circle ended, what I'm going to do is bend this up all the way so that the edges are almost touching each other. And then I'm going to put my hook through at the base of this circle. So I'm just again going through these two that are on the front side here. And now I'm going to repeat that pattern where I'm skipping the next one and going through the ones above that and pulling them down through. Again, skipping and going to the next one. Keep bending this around and repeating that pattern. And then again. And then I'm going to do that one more time. Pull these through and finish off this circle. You can mess around with the shape a little bit later if you think it's not completely circular. So again, I'm flipping to the back and I'm going to go to the start here, pick up two and pull them through. That's just going to close off that circle. And again, I'm taking another band and pulling this through the two, put it right about in the middle. And now we're going to take the pipe cleaners again and bend them out. Bend them all the way back here. So now you can see we have our 2 circles, and we're going to make our last circle. So again, at the base here, I'm going to just put my hook through the 2 towards the front here, and then I'm just skipping to every other and pulling them through. So they are definitely going to be a little bit tight. And now I want to close off this circle again, so I'm flipping to the back, and I'm just going to grab some of the bands here on the left. I'd like to get 2 and pull them through. Take another band and secure this in place. And now I have to bend this pipe cleaner all the way down to make the stem. And let me just get rid of these extra pieces here. Just going to cut them off. You just want to leave a little bit. You don't want to cut it all the way up to the band. Just leave a little bit of room, and you can snip these off. Just be careful, sometimes it's a little sharp there on the edges. And now I still need to get this to all close up together here. So let me just flip to the back. And I'm going to just take some additional bands here. I'm going to go on the edge here where these 2 circles come together. I'll pick up these 2 bands, and then I'll go to where it connects to the stem and go through these 2. I'll just, whoops, I lost one. It's not wanting to cooperate. So now I'm just going to pull these 2 through the others, and then I have the 2 bands here that are holding the circle part together. I'm just going to slide those 2 through. And now I'll go here to the next circle. I'm going to do that same thing. Let me just get these bands out of the way. I'm going to go to the outer edge here, leaving these 2 on my hook. Go to the outer edge and pick up the 2 at the bottom of that circle. And then I'll go to the other edge. I think I only got 1 there. I'm going to get 2 just so it's a little bit stronger. And then I'm going to pull those 2 through the other 2. And then I'm going to get these loops on. You don't really have to do it in this exact order, as long as you're just closing off those circles. So I'm pulling these through and then through the other 2. It's just helping to make it nice and tight on the front there. And of course you're going to have this edge that's just going to go stay towards the back there. So again, I need to completely close up this circle. So with these 2 bands still on my hook, I'm going to pick up the outside edge here and then pick up the other outside here. This is where we first started, the first 2 bands. Go through those, and then I'm going to pull these 2 through the previous 2, and then I'm going to pick up these other 2 loops here because they're a little bit looser, and they're going to slide through the other 4. So we'll see how that looks on the front. Looking pretty good here. So I think I'm going to add 1 more rubber band here just to close up this very last one. Just going to grab these two that are at the top of the stem, pull them through, and then I'm going to take a clip. So I have a C-clip here. You can use whatever clip you have available. And I'm just going to make sure that I get them through all the bands that are on my hook. It is definitely a little bit tight. And then you can see how it looks in the front. If you see a little bit of pipe cleaner at the end here, you can just sort of slide the bands to try and cover that up. And if you felt like this still wasn't quite tight enough, you could always loop a couple of extra bands in here. For example, let me just stick my hook through, and I'll take this extra band and pull it through to the back. And then from the back I'll go all the way over here to the other side, and I'll go through, and let me just grab this other side and pull it through to the back. So you could add a couple of those in the middle if you think it needs a little bit of filling in there, and then you would just attach this. You can do a slip knot, and you can just attach that to your C-clip as well. And then at the very bottom here, we have a little bit that needs to be cut off. So again, you don't want your bands to slip off, but you'd want it to be pretty close so that it's mostly hidden. Just don't cut your bands while you're doing this part either. And you can just angle this a little bit. And, oh, here's some fuzz I see sticking out. And there you have your shamrock. I hope that everyone loves their new shamrock decorations. You can always leave me comments on YouTube and Facebook, post pictures of your creations to my Facebook page, and please feel free to subscribe to my YouTube channel so you can stay up to date on my latest tutorials. You can also find me on Pinterest and Instagram, so please feel free to subscribe to those as well. Thanks for watching!